back from Paris at the piano with a beautiful new piece. We come back to Liszt Schumann. So it's a Lied by Robert Schumann, transcription from Liszt, like the last one that I love so much. And this one again is about love. And as I said the other time, when Schumann writes about love, it's always about his wife and very big destiny of love, Clara, who he married, of course, and he got 8 children. They had 8 children, and as it's very soon Mother's Day, so we should maybe dedicate this video to Clara, who was the first real professional and successfully professional concert pianist of her times. And she would travel around the world to play the piano, and her husband would then maybe stay with the children, or as I heard, even Brahms would babysit some of the 8 lovely children. And well, this Liebeslied is out of Myrthen, which is a cycle of songs by Robert Schumann, and it's actually called Widmung, so dedication, so it's dedicated again to Clara. But Liszt chose to call it Liebeslied, the song of love, and it's very much about the relationship also that you have when you are in love with the beloved person, that is like yourself in this. Like what or who do you become through this kind of love or through this relationship? And here, in this case, they are already married over 12 years, but they already get married almost like children. And so this is for their anniversary of marriage. If you think how like today maybe your husband or your wife would write such a composition just to celebrate your marriage anniversary, I guess that would be something very out of time, right? So let's start. We just start with the introduction, 2 measures, just maybe for the singer to get ready, to breathe in and to get into the tonality. Is just introduction, what means that there's no voice yet, no text, no words, it's just the piano, even if it would be with a singer. But obviously in the transcription we don't have the singer, but you will yourself play the melody of the singer. And what is so beautiful about this is that already you have a little hidden voice that is already in this very small part, which is here starts the first note of the melody. So actually you should just already think about the first interval, the quint, which is always like the Ur-interval, it's like the origin of music. So many pieces start with this interval, and out of that, because you don't know yet if it will be major or minor accord, but this interval already like announcing to get you to the point that you feel, even if you don't know what it means, but you feel, this is where is my home, right? So also what is very beautiful is that already there's kind of this Wiege, which it's like a berceuse. It's almost like you feel comfort because it's 3 halves, so it's this feeling of dance, but in a very slow movement. And it gives you this feeling of getting embraced, right? You feel like somebody hugs you and gives you such a lovely welcome. And also with the small notes, the repetition notes that will all the time come like a motif through all the piece, you feel that it's almost like somebody just caressing you, because it's like a small yeah, like very expressive way of emphasizing this moment. Yeah, and then starts the melody, and we have the text, and you can read the text, and obviously it will be helpful, but it's also maybe not the words in music that are so important, but that we try to get beyond the idea that you can translate music into words, even though I call this the story behind. But obviously music for itself is like in arts, you can have a painting and you can describe the painting and you can see what is on the painting, but that is not all, right? Because then we could just take pictures of everything, which obviously is something different, very, very less meaningful, right? And I wish to at least try to listen to this piece as if you don't know the text, because the piano obviously will not give you the words, but the meaning behind. And even words can be associated with so many things, and if somebody tells you something, you might completely misunderstand. But here, I chose to not tell you the words, but just play the melody and let you feel and listen and perceive it as open as possible. Already in this very small part, it's just the half of the melody part, you have already a moment of hope. And even if we don't want to use the words of the text, there is already something opening, right? And then there's already some very small kind of shadow, maybe pain or something of a nostalgic feeling or something like this. But even if you don't want to put it precisely in words, but try to listen to that, what actually happens within the music. And then also in this time, I guess there were no painkiller. So even just to live, even just to survive in this time was much more difficult in so many ways. And then I guess something like the pure expression of love and of marriage was so sacred that in the end of this piece, Schumann will even make a citation. He will quote the Ave Maria, which means that he actually wants to compare his own wife to Maria, and which means obviously not that he thinks that she's the Holy Godmother, but that he wants to put her on this very sacred place and appreciate so much also maybe what she does for him and for his life. And yeah, and I think what is so incredible with the melody is that just in a melody you have everything that can be love. And why is love actually so important? I mean, even still today we don't maybe write a cycle of Lieder about love as an anniversary gift anymore, but we definitely need so much in every movie, in every book, in every story. It's always at least partly about the subject, and it's because it's so deeply human. Even if you don't have a fulfilled love, you are always dreaming or longing for it, and all that, like maybe our need, our dreams, our concept about love and what it means for us is already integrated in this melody. And as obviously love is always two people connecting, the second part will be the same melody in the left hand. Then obviously you can choose that the whole first part with the melody in the right and the left hand will be still like an intimate idea, like somebody writing a love letter, but it's not yet published or not yet given away. And then change completely the world after that. And it's about the peace that you can receive through love or through this feeling. So then you already feel the harmony makes it so elevated. And maybe on the keyboard you see that before we have been in La bemol major, and now we are in Mi majeur, in Mi major, which is already on the keyboard white and the others almost just black. So I love this contrast even just visually when you play. And it's kind of clearing up and kind of lets your soul breathe suddenly after already this very intense love explanation. And then obviously we come to very much more passionate part, and it's building up from here. And then the most important of this part is now, before you had the melody in the right hand, in the soprano, and then you had it in the bass or in the tenor voice, and now you have it shared, so the both hands share the melody, which is so symbolic, right? It's very, very beautiful. And I play the transition again, and after that will be the big culmination, and then we come to this huge surprise in the end that already I told you before. He will quote Ave Maria. If you pay attention, you might recognize it. This is the part where it's definitely no limits. It's 3 forte, fortissimo, and you shouldn't hold back, but in the sense of intensity you shouldn't hold back, but which still remains the melody behind, so it's still the same melody than when it was so intimate, and as I said in the beginning, might have been just something he wrote or he just thought about. And obviously this is then the very Liszt characteristic of the piece, this part where it's getting a little crazy. And yet I think that is why it's so crazy then the ending when it comes to this Ave Maria part. Most importantly, think that the last accord is like he doesn't want it to end, and he doesn't want to let go of this love moment and of this melting with Clara, I think. So with all that said, I tried to let the music speak. Leave in the comments if you agree that even though this is obviously a piece that is about a subject with a title and with a text, that there's still all this part that you cannot put in words, but that you can just perceive and just express through the music, and to maybe even put that on this sacred level, like Schumann did with his wife. The purpose of this channel is to get really close and closer to music and to make you love and feel classical music as much as I do. Okay, so if you want to play this piece yourself, or if you just want to listen to it and feel that you get really into this world of Schumann, I hope I could help you with this video. And please subscribe and share with your friends if you want to help to build this channel. We are just starting, and we appreciate every like and everybody who subscribes and follow. And yeah, and let's meet soon here again.